Khamenei if Saudi Arabia stops committing crimes against the nation and Yemeni factions engage in talks. Ayatollah Khamenei described Saudi Arabia's policy on Yemen and Syria as duplicitous. He said, while the Saudi regime says it has intervened in Yemen at the request of the country's fugitive president, it rejects the demand of Syria's legitimate president for an end to its support for anti-Syria militants. Author and Middle East expert Mr. Saib Shath joins us now from Belfast. Mr. Shath, give us your thoughts on the recent comments made by leader of Iran's Islamic Revolution, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, specifically with regards to the situation in Syria.
He's right in what he said 100% there, since the Saudis, as part of the Zionist American alliance, all along what they see destruction of Syria, they spent the majority of the surplus in their budget in funding terrorist gangs and recruiting mercenaries and sending them in Syria to execute the Zionist and the United States of America's plans to defragment and destroy Syria. Today, when they are weakened and the resistance in Syria, supported by Iran and Russia, become stronger and steadfast against this campaign financed by the Saudis and led by the Zionists and the Americans and the Turks. When that happened and the Saudis become weaker since their involvement in another war which is bankrupting them now in Yemen, they seeking to use the Geneva gathering after, of course, they couldn't stop the invitation to Iran, since Iran proved itself as a regional player now after the nuclear deal. So the Saudis seek that now to impose through using the United States of America the design for defragmenting and partitioning Syria now. This is the plan, and this is where the Iranian and Russian and Arab pro-resistant politicians led by Syria as well trying to stop. They try to use whatever they can to implement the partition of Syria entities to 3 entities, whatever they can manage, and that's going to be defeated since the resistant and the Arab Syrian army are getting stronger with the air cover they're getting from Russia and the support by the experts, military experts from Iran. So this is not a hidden story. Iran from the beginning said we are supporting the Arab people of Syria to resist against this wild American campaign which is financed by those Saudis. And the Saudis today, they are at the weakest point, and they're going to get weaker soon enough. So I see all what the game they are trying to do now after the Geneva is just trying to play diplomatic and political game to confuse the issue. The issue was okay.
Yeah, I'd also like you to comment on the part where Ayatollah Khamenei spoke of the crisis in Yemen. He noted that Saudi Arabia must stop committing crimes against the nation. Ayatollah Khamenei also described Saudi Arabia's policy on Yemen as being duplicitous. What can you say about that?
The Saudis, they have territorial greed and ambitions and land grab in Yemen from the mid-30s since they annexed Algier and Najran and Asir and Jizan. And they tried now to take parts of eastern Yemen, which is there is discoveries of oil in that, and as well to impose the will of it over the Yemen, to keep the Yemeni impoverished and not sovereign. and always under the domination and within the sphere of domination of Saudi Arabia. This is the policies of Saudi. They don't care who suffers and who's not. We notice what targets left in Yemen. The Saudi's air forces and the Emiratis keep bombarding in Yemen. They destroy civilian neighborhoods, villages, towns, hospitals, markets, whatever, to the will of the Yemeni people in resisting their aggressive invasion of their country. But the Yemeni people are determined to stand against this aggression and determined to push this aggression away from their country. But as we notice, the international community watching this vicious campaign against the Yemeni people, and nothing is being done except a few people are voicing and countries voicing their support for the people of Yemen, and practically the international community is complicit here with Saudi Arabia, since Saudi Arabia is part of the design of the United States of America in Yemen as in Syria.
Thank you very much, Saib Shath, author and Middle East expert, joining us from Belfast.